2026 is going to be all about teaching an old dog new tricks. Stick around. I'm back over here at Micah's shop, Gaston Automotive, and you notice I've got my Crown Vic here. This is a pretty big day. And for 2026, we're going to be doing some pretty cool things on the channel. And this right here, have you ever heard the saying, you've got to crawl before you can walk or run? That's what this video is all about, because the object of today is to put this Quick 4 on here, on this stock configuration of the Crown Vic, so that when we do the Godzilla swap, we will have a better understanding of this software, how to use it, how to manipulate it, so that when we put the Godzilla and the 10R80 in the Crown Vic, we have a good understanding of what we need to do and how to do it. Here's the actual engine that's going in the Crown Vic. You can see that it still has all of the truck accessories, clutch fan, you name it. All of this stuff is going to be changed out. We're going to address the timing cover, the oil pan, the oil pump, go with the Holley swap kit that utilizes like a Gen 3 style Hemi oil pump in the front. The oil pan will be able to fit in the Crown Vic chassis, which should make for a very good package in that car. There's some other modifications I'm going to do to the engine. I'm going to put a camshaft in it, probably some lifters and an intake, and see if we're going to put this thing actually on the engine dyno over at the Race Engine Challenge dyno in Charlotte and see what kind of power it makes before it goes in the car. I'm going to be running this thing on Holley EFI, the Terminator X. I think that'd be the best bang for the buck. But the problem is the Terminator X will not control a 10R80. And that's where US Shift comes into play with the standalone controller. That way that I can have the Holley EFI and then use his current standalone 10R80 controller. Make sure everything's copacetic. The first thing we had to do was take the center console out of the car and then come up in here and drill a hole in the floor pan inside so that we can run the necessary wiring through. Basically, this is plug and play. I mean, there's a little bit of splicing in. There goes Josh and Micah, but otherwise, it's pretty self-explanatory with the instructions. The key to getting this install right is these instructions here. I mean, I've got a wiring genius here with me, so I feel a lot better, but yeah, it's pretty simple. Ground, power, TPS, and it gives the breakout of the wiring connections here that we've got to tie into the factory computer harness, because most people, I don't think, is using this with a factory style computer that would actually control the transmission. We're doing this, like I said, to get a learning curve of how to use this box so that when we go to the 10R80 stuff, it's kind of like, okay, this is what we got to do.
Come on, you gonna video my rigging?
Oh yeah. Sir, this is not rigging. If it's Gooby approved, I trust my life with it. Now we're down to the nitty gritty work. We got to put power, ground. We're going to ground it right here where the factory ECU goes. And this is a TPS wire. Got the computer plug off from the back side here. We're going to find the TPS pin out and splice it in there, and we will be good to go. Well, how do you feel about this?
I think I feel pretty good. I think it's gonna work.
I do too. So I think Carl already has a tune loaded in this, if I remember, because I've had this thing for maybe 2 years, but he set it up for this car. So I'm gonna pull it out, make sure everything goes in gear, and then see what happens.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But we haven't tied the wiring up or anything like that yet, because
we're in prototype.
Yeah.
Testing.
All right.
Go second. All right, second time's a charm.
Hopefully we're lucky this time.
Think it'll shift better since it can see the throttle position sensor?
Yeah, why don't you tell them what we did?
Yeah, so the reason it wouldn't shift before is honest mistake. We grabbed pin 90 instead of pin 89 for the TPS.
I mean, you got a ton of wires there that you're trying to figure out which one is the right one, and so...
Yeah, and one was gray with white trace, and
Hey,
one was brown.
check
with white
engine lights
trace.
off now.
Oh, that's cool. Check engine lights off. Yeah, because we took away the TPS signal to the computer. There we go. All right. All right, here we go. Second
Oh,
gear.
yeah.
Third gear.
I like it. It doesn't go into overdrive right out of the gate.
Fourth gear.
Man, that's so much better. Yeah.
I do notice one thing.
What's that?
Do you notice it too?
What?
Look on your dash.
Oh, the speedometer not working? That's why we got this little contraption right here.
No, will it tell you the speed?
Yeah, see?
Oh, cool.
Right there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, it's just good, man.
Thanks, Carl.
Carl, you're the man. But let's actually talk about the cool things the Quick 4 will actually do, or the Quick 6, or the Quick 10 controllers will do. You notice up here in the top corner, it gives you the fluid temperature of the transmission temperature. You got your gear selector right here. See, if I put it in, let's see, shows reverse, neutral, first. Pretty cool stuff. Now, I assume, and that can get me in big trouble, I assume that most of the people who's going to buy these standalone transmission controllers are going to use them in an application that wasn't computer controlled, meaning that they're putting them in older hot rods and things of that sort. But here's some really cool stuff. Let's go to the menu right here and go down to tune, and then the cool thing is you can adjust the firmness of the shifts and the shift points. So if you go to firmness here, it'll give you all shifts, 1, 2. You can do them individually, and you can see where I have this at: 50%, 80%, 100%. Pretty cool. Then you back out of that, and then you can go to torque converter lockup. The clutch, you can change things there, and like I said, shift points, RPM of all of the shifts. I mean, yeah, it's really cool. Wide open throttle, 5,000 RPM. So this is a multi-dimensional device here. Yes, it controls the transmission, but it gives you ultimate tunability with it, which I think super cool. And the more that I learn the configuration of this, that's going to help me when it comes time and I have a 10R80 in this car. So let's get out and wrap this video up. So we just got back. What do you think about it?
Oh, it's good. Shift's good. Shift's better. I think it was a good upgrade.
This thing right here, this thing has 200,000 miles on it, okay? And the transmission, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's about worn out. I mean, it's getting to the point where it would actually kind of slide into second and third, and it just wasn't a happy camper. Now the shifts are more positive. I gotta give special thanks to Josh here for wiring Gooby. So what do you think about it?
I think it shifts pretty good, especially considering what the mileage and age of the transmission.
Yeah. You was thinking about doing something to your truck, wasn't you?
Well, on my Mustang, considering swapping to automatic, and I may actually try this now after riding it.
Yeah. Here's the part that you got to understand why we're doing this. There's a whole tuning wizard that we can go into the laptop and learn the configurations of. And that's going to help us transfer that knowledge when we put the Godzilla in it. But there's another reason why we're doing this, and I hadn't even mentioned this. I made one post on Facebook and I put your car and my car in the picture. So what are we going to do?
We're going to put a 10R in the wagon.
So Clark is getting a 10R80.
I got a 2-wheel drive case. I already have a transmission being worked on now, so that should go together pretty soon.
So tell them what we think is going to be beneficial with that third gear spread.
So, well, a couple things. We're going to have some extra gears in between that we don't have now, so the shift drop is going to be way less. But also, it's going to make the car even more versatile than it is now, because we're going to have a first gear that we can run on motor. So I can put Joseph in the wagon eventually, and he can run it on motor. We'll have extra gears in the middle. I'll still be able to leave in third gear on nitrous, and we'll have overdrive if we want to drive this thing to the ice cream shop.
Because Clark has a power glide in it right now. So you're going from 70-year-old technology, I guess, now. Yeah, from the 1950s to something that's coming in your 2025 F-150. So I think that's pretty cool. Carl, appreciate it. I'm going to get this thing back to the house, and I got to button up the wiring and stuff in the kick panel. So until next time, this is Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage.
Micah from Gas and Automotive.
And Josh.
We will catch you later.